If you draft a guy in the second round, like Jalen Waddle, and his quarterback gets injured, nothing much you could do. If you get a guy like Puka Nacua, nothing much you could do, right? That's just the way things go sometimes. But when you get a guy like Travis Etienne, who's got so much upside, he's a part of an offense who we expect to be pretty good, at least middle of the pack, right? You know that he's talented. You know that he's usually a workhorse role, considering the fact that the dude behind him, Tank Bigsby, last year was literally not NFL ready. It's tough. It's a brutal situation. So in this video, we're going to be talking about what to do with Travis Etienne. We're going to be looking at some of his stats, some of his advanced metrics. We're going to talk about whether we should be trading him, selling him, buying him. I'm Ron from Fantasy Flow. If you guys get some value from this video, I would super appreciate a like. And while you're down there, hit me up with a subscribe if you want to see some more of my videos, some more of my content moving forward. Without wasting any more of your time, guys, let's hop into this. So as I mentioned, Travis Etienne, I got his game logs here pulled up. He is still getting essentially 2024's version of workhorse role, right? Or workhorse volume, rather. 13 for 44 in week 1 with a touchdown, 3 for 2 in the air for 15. That's 15 opportunities. That's kind of what most workhorse running backs are getting nowadays. Sans the dudes like Jordan Mason, Alvin Kamara, these like freak stud, running backs. 13 for 52 in week 2, and then another 4 for 3 for 6. So weeks 1 to 3, he was decently efficient on the ground, got into the end zone twice, and gets decent receiving work. That's something that we really like about Travis Etienne. That's why he was a second rounder. He's somebody that does get receiving work, and we like that in our stud running backs or our upside running backs. But in week 4, we see something pretty concerning, right? We see that he goes 11 for 50. Weirdly, in the first quarter, like on their first or second drive, he was not even in the game. He was on the sideline. Rumor has it he was benched for some reason. I guess the report coming out of the game was that he did get a shoulder injury, and that's why he wasn't in the game. I don't know. That's a little bit peculiar to me, a little bit ominous. In any case, he ends up coming back into the game, and he ends up actually playing really well, busting off some nice long runs. But Tank Bigsby gets a lot of work, dude. So as I mentioned, his volume's low despite good efficiency on the ground. It's his receiving work that keeps him as a top 15 running back. That's the thing, right? We're going to keep ranking him in the top 15 because Tank Bigsby doesn't seem like such a big threat to us yet. So the thing is, as he loses more and more snaps to Tank Bigsby, who's actually looking better than we thought, it kind of makes his upside really capped. Like, are we really going to continue ranking him as like a top 10 running back if the dude behind him is really like nipping at his toes and is really like stealing work from him, and looking good in that. So check out this tweet from Ryan Heath. The Jaguars backfield this year, excluding week 2, which Tank Bigsby missed to injury, Etienne's got 162 rushing yards to Tank Bigsby's 172. Bigsby has yet to be targeted, but got both carries inside the 5-yard line today. So this is a problem. I agree with that 100%. JJ Zachariason also had another tweet that was really illuminating about Travis Etienne. He was under the 60% running back rush share mark for the second time this season on Sunday. That only happened twice last season, so his 6.3 target share against the Texans was a season low as well. Previous low was 13.6, stemming from a season low 40% route participation rate. So route participation is down, target share is down, rush share is down, goal line work is down, rushing yardage is equivalent to Tank Bigsby over those relevant weeks. So we're starting to see a kind of a scary situation for Travis Etienne. Definitely an arrow that is pointing down, as they would say. So I think his role is very similar to, in one of my other videos, I talk about Rachaad White, how Bucky Irving is kind of taking over the role. It's not quite like that. Rachaad White is losing his job to somebody who's better than him. I don't think Bigsby's going to fully take over this backfield. I don't think he's fully better than Etienne, but I want to have a look at their scores, and PFF gives these player grades every week. They combine a bunch of different metrics to figure out how they performed in the role that they play. So offensively, Tank Bigsby has actually been pretty good every week, right? So weeks 1, 3, and 4, the weeks that he played, a 70 plus in total offensive rating all 3 weeks, and his run rating is actually pretty good. And the area that I think is very interesting, keep in mind this pass blocking grade. So 76.5 in week 4. I guess they didn't chart him in week 3 as doing any pass blocking, but 76.5, keep that in mind. So Tank Bigsby looked pretty good. He's, above average, I would say. Travis Etienne has some concerning red in that pass blocking area that I just mentioned. Not to mention his offensive ratings are also lower than Tank Bigsby. And his rush ratings are also equal? Slightly lower. It's a 0.1 lower than Tank Bigsby. That's nothing to be concerned about. But it's his pass blocking, man. I think this is a reason. I think this is just my theory. I think it's why Tank Bigsby's finding himself on the field more, because they want somebody who's a good pass blocker, because at the moment, the Jaguars' offensive line can't stop a nosebleed. Right? They're getting absolutely mauled by everyone they play against. So if Tank Bigsby is a reprieve from that mauling that they're facing, the coaching staff has to put him on the field. And it's going to take away from Travis Etienne's total upside or his ceiling. That's just the way things are, man. If you can't be on the field, think Jordan Whittington. He's like highest rated wide receiver in pass blocking in week 3. Then he gets like a 98% snap share in week 4, gets the most targets, most receptions on the team. Looks to be like the wide receiver 1 now moving forward. And you can say the same thing for Tank Bigsby, man. I think it's concerning. I would say I would hold on to him unless you can package him and tier up. So what I mean by that is like take a guy like Etienne and maybe a dude like DJ Moore who's like I basically just value them as like an RB2 and a wide receiver 2. And try to flip them for like a Kyron and a Leggett, where you get an RB1, so you tier up from Etienne from RB2 to RB1. And then you tier down from wide receiver, but for an upside wide receiver 3-4 type guy like Leggett. I think you have to make a move like that because you don't want to wait any longer for Travis Etienne's value to plummet even further. I think you need to make a move now like that. Get a high upside wide receiver. See if you can get one of those like top 5, top 6 running backs in return. Obviously, there are some guys that are probably off limits, like Derrick Henry. Like, Kenneth Walker is probably off limits now after that 3 touchdown performance. But you never know. Maybe Kenneth Walker owners want to sell high considering his injury history. That might be the perfect type of target, right? ETN for Kenneth Walker. Maybe you give up a DJ Moore, you give up a T. Higgins with it, and you get like a wide receiver 4. So that's what I'd be doing. Hope you guys like this video, man. Hope you got some value from it. If you did, I'd really appreciate a like and a sub. Stick around, man. Catch some more of my future videos. I love to fucking banter with you guys in the comments. Let me know if you disagree with any of my takes. In any case, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.